What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Circle G Outdoors. Today, Circle G Reviews, we're going to talk about some knives. So today we're going to talk about the Cold Steel Leatherneck, and we have two versions. We have the SF, which stands for Simplify, and the Tonto version. So Dad, why don't you talk about the specifications on them, each one, and then we'll unbox them.
All right, well, the Tonto here, it's a 7-inch blade, 12 inches overall length, weighs 12.2 ounces. Blade is 5 millimeters thick, and the blade steel is the German D2. And the handle is Crayex?
Yeah, 5-inch Crayex.
5-inch Crayex, okay. And the specification on this one here, which is this is the Leatherneck
This is the SF.
SF. All right, well, the SF is 6 3/4 inch blade, so it's a little shorter than the Tonto. 11 3/4 inch overall length, German D2 steel, just like the other one. 11.7 ounces, a little bit lighter. All right, 5 millimeter thickness blade and the 5-inch Crayex handle. So these handles.
All right.
Which one you want to open up first?
So let's open up the Tonto first. So I'll open up the box. Comes in a plastic package. Kydex sheath, and it has the what do they call it? The Securex. Yeah, Securex sheath that locks in. So Dad, what's your first impressions taking it out of the box?
Well, I would say it looks like a pretty good sheath. It's got plenty of places to tie down if you want to just tie it down to somewhere specific on your gear, your fighting gear. We got a nice buckle here on the back, a belt loop and it's got Velcro and a snap, so you got the ability to not lose the knife. And I can tell you right now that what I like about it on the sheath is that it's reversible. And so if you're a left-handed person and you wanted to carry it on your left-hand side, you could reverse your belt loop by removing these screws, flipping around the other side and screw it back in. Now we take it out the side, we'll take a look here. And we got a serious piece of business here. All right. Made in Taiwan, says right there on the blade. And we got a safety edge on it, but that's to be expected in nowadays legitimate environment. Anyway, feels good in the hand. But I could do some serious slicing with this baby right here. It's very well balanced. I like that. It's balanced right there, just at the hilt, and that's cool. It's not forward heavy and it's not rear heavy. Got a nice pommel. And
They
it's
are full tang.
shank,
Yeah,
full tang, and so you got a good ability to pound your tent stakes in the ground. If you're out there in the woods and doing some camping, you can drive a tent stake in the ground, or you can pop somebody upside the head with it. Whatever. Anyway, what do you think?
I like it. This one belongs to my uncle, one of Dad's brothers. He got the Tonto version. He was going to be here on video with us, but he had to run home. He decided to leave the knife so we could cover it along with the Leatherneck SF. I've always been a fan of the Tonto blade. Now, I ain't no cool guy. I ain't no operator. Just using them utilitarian. My pocket folder, which I've done a review on before, it's a Tonto blade as well. And of course there's a size comparison between these two. I would not carry either of these, and we'll pull the SF out here in just a second and compare it to this one. It's got a little fatter belly on it than the SF does, but I wouldn't use these as an everyday carry, but for storing on your fighting gear or in your survival pack. They're weight wise, if you're used to carrying a small light knife, you probably won't like it because they are heavy, but if you're using something that's good steel, that's heavy built, like the lawyer in Jurassic Park asks the kid about the night vision goggles, are they heavy? Yeah, then put them back, they're expensive. These are not expensive by any means, but they are heavy and hefty, and that usually with knives seems to mean it's going to have a little better quality. So we're going to pull out the SF and talk over it real quick, and then compare the two side by side, and we will also compare it to a couple of other knives for size comparison, blade comparison, things like that. So the SF, same thing out of the box, comes in a package, a little plastic package. Same Secure X sheath, so it clicks in, kind of like your Kydex holsters. So that's nice. It allows you to hang it upside down, say if you're going to put it on a chest rig or something like that. This one, same thing on the sheath. You can flip your screws around, and so if you're opposite hand, you can wear the sheath the other direction. Same large belt loop. This is probably more for like a battle belt style.
Yeah, you could probably get it on your battle belt.
So if you wanted to put it on your regular leather belt, you probably have to put some paracord or something in there. And
you would have to completely trust your Velcro if you had a wider belt. Yeah. You could still Velcro it and have more of a distance here on a wider belt. But yeah, you could do it on a battle belt.
Now, mine, this one is mine. I just got them recently. I have not. They come, Cold Steel ships them with a little grease, a little oil on the blades, so when you pull them out, they will have a little oil on them. Because these are the type of steels that they are, that Cold Steel tends to use, they are prone to rusting. They're not like stainless steel, but I have a stainless steel knife that we will use in comparison. You'll see I've had it for a very long time, and even they'll rust too. But this one, same German D2 steel, made in Taiwan, Cold Steel. This is the SF, so it is more of your traditional style K-bar looking knife. In fact, I believe they made this knife as a tribute to the original K-bar that the Marines used. Same handle, the Cray X 5-inch, same full tang, heavier button at the bottom. It does feel like the buttons, this one maybe feels a little plasticky. It might have a plastic button at the back, unless it's metal, and I'm just, yeah, I guess that's metal. But anyhow,
interesting, it has the flat sides on.
Right.
They're flattened on these, and actually they're not just flat; they're actually concave, and it gives you real comfort in the hand. Because right where you're in the palm of your hand with your knuckles, and it fit right in there, and then when you come over, your fingers fit right in there.
right.
It really is a comfortable grip.
Right. And weight comparison, the SF actually feels a touch lighter, and that probably is because now this is 7-inch blade, this is 6 3/4. They're close enough you almost can't tell, like you can just barely tell that one is longer than the other. But this one having a fatter belly on it. But overall, just out of the box, I'm impressed. You give some talk about it.
Let me show you something. You'll notice on this Tanto, in the real tradition of Tanto, it has a belly on the blade itself, and this baby right here is for slicing and dicing.
Right.
That's what that will do. Now, this one here, it's good for sticking a pig. You need to, because you know how them pigs are. They get after you, man. You better be able to do something quick. And that right there would do the job, for sure.
So what we've noticed so far with these cold steel knives is they do ship them with a safety edge, so it's sharp enough you could cut something if you needed to out of the box, but it does not have an edge on it. After a while, probably going to have Dad run it on stone just to put a good edge on it, and we may or may not include that in the video. I don't know, but we'll compare this to some other knives we have here, just for size comparison and things like that. So here we have the Cold Steel Drop Forge Survivalist, 8-inch blade, 13 inches overall, 52100 high carbon, 15.5 ounces, 6 millimeter blade thickness, and a 5-inch handle. And we'll do a review video on this one as well. I'm just pulling this one out for size comparison right now. So there's the Survivalist, and so you can hold that one up there.
Mm-hmm.
So there's your
Different length blades.
size comparisons on
You
those.
notice the hilts are all at the same height, so we're looking at true height of the blade there, or length of the blade comparison. So interestingly enough, the Tanto is supposed to be a longer blade. Isn't that what the box
7-inch
is?
blade. This one's 6 3/4.
Okay, 6 3/4, but it doesn't look quite like 3/4 of an inch longer.
Yeah.
But apparently, if they're talking about blade this way, when you got on the Tanto, you've got this sloped edge and then the blade, whereas you go distance from here all the way up to the clip and to the point.
Right.
That's where you would get your difference as far as blade length from the hilt to the tip. If you ask me, those two look almost equal.
They're pretty close. Just standing side by side, there's maybe only 1/8 of an inch or so from, if you're comparing the ends of the knives, the tip of the knife in height. It's only about 1/8 of an inch, so
Right.
they're probably calculating the actual blade, the edge
That's
surface.
your cutting edge.
Right.
Yeah.
Cutting edge surface.
You got a
so.
7-inch cutting edge and a 6 3/4 inch cutting edge. Right. So you get a little more slicing done with the Tanto. Quarter of an inch more, as a matter of fact.
Right. So price wise, I'm not sure what Gary paid for the Tonto.
Yeah.
I think he bought it. Where did he buy it? At Cabela's.
Well, I thought he had his receipt in here, but I guess he took it.
But I think
Yeah.
he bought it at Cabela's or something like that. I ordered this one off of Amazon, and I paid $64 plus tax for this one. I imagine this one was probably close, maybe in the $70 range. But overall, are you impressed with the Leathernecks, or do you have some reservations?
Well, I tell you what, and you know this Survivalist here, this is my knife, and I bought it, and after actually using it, it's a bit hefty, a little bit heavier than I want to carry on my gear, although for woodscraft, bushcraft stuff, yeah, this in here you can chop with it and so forth.
Right.
But
Chop a head.
when you said you were buying this knife, I was like, oh, son done bought me a new knife. He just ain't told me yet. No, seriously, I'm just joking. This right here is a very comfortable knife to wear. It for the weight and what you're getting. Yeah, I would carry this one all day long. Not a problem. And it's just the right length. It's not too long. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's not too heavy. I like it. I like it a lot, matter of fact. And Tantos, I don't trust myself with Tantos. I'm liable to cut something. It's happened before.
It's happened before.
You gotta watch yourself around these Tanto knives, man. They'll get you.
Real quick, another knife to compare to. So this is a buck 119. This knife was bought for me by one of my late uncles for my 18th birthday. This is a made in USA buck 119. It's
Now
a great.
compare that to your
It's
this one here.
right. It's a great knife. but you know, she's just a little too shiny for keeping discreet. But here they are in comparison.
So you get a comparison here on the blade and get your hilts at the same height. So yeah, the Leatherneck, it's all business.
Yeah, I mean this one, you could wear this one as an everyday carry. It's a good enough size that you're not getting extremely long or too gaudy or whatever if you're worried about that kind of thing in public. Of course, if you live in a state where, you know, some communist state where they prevent you from, you know, carrying a blade that's, you know, over, you know, the length of your pinky fingernail, well, move. But overall, for me, I'm not the biggest expert on blades. Most of my knife use is cutting boxes, cutting things open as a mechanic. I have another cold steel knife that I bought that I'm probably going to start carrying as my everyday carry, but I like it. Time will tell. This one I'm going to put on my H-harness rig, and it'll live there, and I'm sure it will serve its purpose just fine. If we're to the point that I'm having to use this knife, well, we've already crossed the threshold into some pretty bad situations. So, but overall, I don't think you can go wrong with these knives. If you're looking for a good fixed blade, but you don't want to, you know, go spend, what was that Randall made knife you saw? It was $800, something like that. You know, we're not rich men, and I'm sure most of y'all ain't either. So if you're looking for a good quality price bargain, they are made in Taiwan, but you know what? I don't have a problem supporting the good Chinese. I've got a lot of Taiwanese made tools as a mechanic, and they stand up to 99% of American made tools for a lot less of the price. They seem to have good quality control. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. We'll have some more review videos coming at you. As always, may Jehovah bless you and keep you, and make his face to shine upon you and give you peace. Shalom.